Welcome to JMO, Josh and Joe. It is Tuesday, October 18th. And Joe, I think I figured it out. I think the NFL is broken.
It's broken?
Yeah, I thought it was drunk, but I'm pretty sure it's just broken now.
Okay.
Because there was some head scratchers today or this weekend.
Maybe a couple loose wires, maybe some screws, a little bit loose.
Yeah, feeling a little loose. They probably drank the goose. Got them feeling loose. It's just, I don't know. I think they need like an electrician, a carpenter. I think they need to be fixed because, Lord Jesus, it was wild. They had some teams that won that I never. The Giants are 5-1. Let's put it that way. Let's throw that out there.
I mean, that's evidence in itself right now that the NFL is broken.
Correct.
The 5-1 Giants with Daniel Jones as their leading quarterback.
Yeah. Brian Daboll still making lemonade out of these bruised up fucking lemons. But yeah, we'll get to that one. Let's put it this way. If you like chaos, the NFL was awesome this weekend. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what? The conspiracy theorists are going to come out and be like, oh, this was a Vegas weekend.
Yep. You're right. Ooh, yeah. We talked about the conspiracy theorists last week. That is true. This was a Vegas week for sure. Because I know, let's put it this way. A bunch of my buddies bet on the Buccaneers hard. And that, you see how that panned out.
Oh, yeah. And then, who the fuck thought the Falcons were going to take on the red hot 49ers?
Red hot 49ers. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody did. I swear, Vegas has some type of time machine. Or I think they just, when they set the line, it just becomes the narrative, and that's just kind of how people follow suit with it. That's just how the world works. Narratives are just being dropped, and Vegas owns them, and Vegas basically tells people how it's gonna go. So, okay, so we got these offensive players wearing these straps that look like flag football flags. You saw Cooper Kupp had it last week.
Yep.
George Pickens had one on this week.
Yep.
I think that's on purpose.
Because they look faster that way.
They look faster, and it's almost like they want to defensive players want to grab that.
So it's a distraction.
Yes, I think it's a good idea until they make him illegal, because the NFL will. It's something's gonna happen, and they're gonna make him illegal. But they do look fast.
Yeah, you probably can set the defense in a hypnosis in a way where they just go for the flag and just because everybody's probably played flag football at some point.
Oh, of course.
So,
of course.
And I mean, the way that they're reffing the game, it's like they're going to flag football. Mm-hmm. So, especially with the quarterbacks.
Yep.
So, you know what? They might be onto something.
Let's see. We had buys. This was the first week we had buys. It kind of threw things off a little bit. I know, especially for fantasy purposes, it's a little weird. But
Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs owners definitely were crying,
especially if you had Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs on the same team.
I actually do have one on one of my teams.
Really? One of your teams, you have Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's why, when you go to draft and when you go to trade, the buys are they're pretty important, because you kind of don't want to draft a whole team that has buys, because that's an easy loss. If you have Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry this week, that's an easy loss.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna that's the bulk of your points, unless you have some crazy good receiving core. That's the bulk of your points.
Yeah. So you have to have a super team in order to be able to overcome absence like that.
Right. One thing I wanted to talk about, was it just me, or did it feel like there's been so many checkdowns? The quarterbacks just are getting lazy. I miss the days when Drew Brees, the mid-teens, would just light up the field. He would go through his progressions and then go through them again. He would go through his first, second, third, fourth read and then go back through them again. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it might be a testament a little bit too that defenses are adapting more now. It takes years for defenses to adapt to offensive different like breakouts or like different schemes, because you have to get the players in there.
Yeah.
So like for the longest time, offenses took advantage of mismatches because you had the big slow defensive linemen and slower linebackers that were great run stoppers but weren't maybe great in the past. But now you got these like lean, quick defensive ends and linebackers and safeties that are doing like hybrid stuff.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of defenses are countering this prolific, high-powered offenses by not letting them get the deep ball with those big plays.
Yeah, I agree. These linebackers are getting so fucking good. Like they're so fast and they're powerful. It's insane. And then like obviously the defensive lineman, like Aaron Donald is just these guys are freaks. Even Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan's even like a good example of it. These guys are just so fucking fast, so athletic, and so talented, and all while being like 6'1", like 260 pounds.
Yeah,
like these are giant human athletes that are just fucking the Greek version of Achilles.
Yeah, and it took a little while for the NFL to get those type of players and and start targeting those athletes.
Well, like I think we were talking about the other day, they're conditioning these kids to become like Myles Garrett is another good example. They're conditioning these kids like when they're young to be these outstanding wide receivers, to be these outstanding like just God-given talented fucking defensive linemen and linebackers. Like they're big, so you're stuck with that, and then now they're just making them fast and quick.
Yep.
Also, I think like the NFL has progressed. I think it's going in a good direction. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it is going in a good direction, and you can also make the statement. I mean, there's also just some bad football being played too.
That is true.
We're maybe going into like a transitional period.
Actually, that's a good segue because I want to do the Dan Snyder shit before we get to the Washington Commanders versus the Bears. Yo, that cokehead motherfucker, Dan Snyder, is just. He's something else, man.
He's going balls to the wall right now.
The wall, dude. Like this guy is like I don't even know how to describe it. I
mean, because you would think that like an owner like that and a billionaire would be like, okay, hey, you know what? My time's passed. I'm just going to sell the team, just make my millions, and go, get off the radar, yada yada yada, live happily ever after. Yeah, but he does not want to let go of this team.
No, he does not, and I don't know why, because it's been pooped for a while, and he's just he just rips a line. He's like, oh no, that is my baby. I am not getting rid of it, and just rips another line of coke.
He's pretty much just trying to pull off like a. Leonardo DiCaprio,
Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, I'm not fucking leaving. When he's like good and well supposed to be gone, like he knows he's supposed to be out of there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he should definitely. And like, if let's just put it this way: if he has all the dirt that he says he has, I don't think like he hired a private investigator. I don't think he would have said that because. I don't think he would have said that if he didn't have dirt on some people. I don't think he has dirt on every single owner. I get it.
So you don't think he's bluffing?
I don't think he's totally bluffing. I think he might be like trying to pull a power move. Like, you know how in negotiations you kind of like fib a little bit? Mm-hmm. Just so that you can kind of control which way the conversation or the negotiation's going. I think he's fibbing just a little bit, but I do think he has dirt on certain people.
Well, I mean, when you become that rich, I mean, OBJ has taught us that, when you become that rich and popular, you're going to do some crazy fucked up things.
Yes, absolutely. Because you get bored. I think that's essentially what happens. People, like rich and famous people just get bored. Like, they get bored of the things that make us normal humans happy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why they end up going to, like, these... They end up doing these exotic weird things, like hiring a Jeffrey Epstein to have like this sex island that features a bunch of little kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's just essentially what happens. They get bored.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but anyways, I'm actually very interested to see how this shit goes because this could be a great fucking story.
Mm-hmm. No, it could get wild.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit. Just the last thing on this is like, a little bit of like some stories that could come out, which is one that's already kind of came out with about Jerry Jones and his kid with another girl, that little girl or that girl in Arkansas or something like that.
But I mean that's
minor.
That's
but
minor. Like Nick Cannon's done that 10 times. Like, come on. I mean, that's just normal. Like, if you're married to / dating a very, very wealthy / famous / famous person, there's going to be cheating involved. There's no, and I'm not saying by which side. Like, sometimes it's by both sides, sometimes by one side or the other. There's gonna be cheating involved. Like that's just a fact.
It's just like with that high big of egos around, they're gonna,
and that much money.
Yeah, they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not that we condone it.
No, we officially do not condone it. It's a public statement. We kind of just talk about what happens. Like that's just a fact, and we talk about it. That's it. Let's get to the games, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. The first one, let's start with the Thursday night game. Washington Commanders versus the Bears. This is...
Can we not?
Yeah, actually, that's fine. I actually only have a couple of things. Why are there so many shitty primetime games? Brian Robinson is awesome.
Yeah.
Gets shot in the leg twice and come back and now is the featured running back. Mm-hmm. And he's a rookie. Yep. Let's go. Fucking rookies dominating this year. And Justin Fields is actually kind of athletic. I don't blame Justin Fields for this Chicago Bears loss.
No, I don't, and I feel bad for him a little bit.
I do too.
I feel like he's kind of set up to fail in a sense.
Yes. Well, I mean, he plays for the Chicago Bears, so yeah. Anybody like any quarterback.
Excellent point.
Any quarterback that plays for the Chicago Bears is kind of set up for failure.
Well, and the thing is like they're not like, accommodating and like moving the offense towards like his skill set. They're just like, hey, look, this is our offense. We want you to run it, and it's not helping him out. And basically, they're just thinking like, oh, hey, look, if he doesn't run this offense like we want him to, we're just going to ship him out because he's not our quarterback. The head coach wasn't there when he was drafted. The GM wasn't there when he was drafted.
Right. They're
just going to be like, oh, this isn't our guy.
Yeah, like he is very athletic. Use that athleticism. That's what the fucking Eagles are doing with Jalen Hurts. That's what the Ravens are doing with Lamar Jackson. You essentially have that. Just fucking utilize them.
Yeah.
And get a couple of receivers around them, please.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I really have on this one. I made money. Let's put it that. I definitely bet the under. Like I 100% bet the under on this one.
Right. Definitely an under game.
Yeah. But yeah, you got anything else?
Ron Rivera had a post-game press conference walkout.
I saw that. Yeah, he just straight up left.
Yeah, defending his quarterback.
Yeah, I mean
Carson Wentz, man. Hey, I get it. It's hard to defend him.
You go down with the ship. He is literally going down with the ship.
Right.
It is hard to defend a quarterback like Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
It's like having to go up there and defend Kirk Cousins every week.
Yeah, no. Well, that's an up and down thing. It's like, oh, yeah, it's easy one week, and then the next week it's like, oh, shit.
Right, yeah. Well, I guess you're right, yeah. With Kirk Cousins, it's like, it's just bad. You have to defend. You have to come up with new ways to defend Kirk Cousins. Or, I'm sorry, Carson Wentz. Yeah, and that takes some creativity. So, honestly, I commend Ron Rivera for that.
Yeah,
that's tough. It's tough to do to stand up for your quarterback when your quarterback is a scared Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but maybe he should be a tight end. I don't know. I mean, that block he threw was
that was awesome.
That was actually pretty good.
That was awesome. He might need to transition to tight end.
Yeah.
So I agree. But yeah, I didn't really have too much. It was a boring game.
Yeah, that's about it. Boring game.
All right, let's get to one of the reasons why I think the NFL is broken, and that is the 49ers versus the Falcons. The Falcons kind of dominated this game.
Yeah, they're big classic Falcons helmet guys. Mm-hmm. Big classic Falcons helmet guy.
I don't like the red helmets, man.
You don't like the red helmets?
I don't, but like apparently they need to wear them more often because they work.
They worked for some reason.
They worked. It's like a deep dark red, a darker red than I like because like I like the Kansas City red. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the Kansas City red's good, and then the 49ers red's a little more maroon. This one's like in the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle of it almost. I don't know. It throws me off. I'm not used to it. I don't really like it. It's also that I fucking hate the Falcons. So
yeah. Well, Mariota could see those helmets a little bit better than the black ones. So
yeah, you're absolutely
you
right.
might want to stick with those.
Dude, I cringe every single time I watch that man run. He does not slide. He runs straight up, and then he kind of like he doesn't really dive. He just kind of throws his body forward.
Yeah, that's not, and he's not like a big guy either. He's he's got a little bit of size, but I wouldn't say he's like a Cam Newton or somebody who can take those hits on. Mm-hmm. I mean, even like a Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got a little bit of size to him too.
Right.
But no, yeah, you're right. I would cringe if I was like actually a fan of Falcons, but
right.
I kind of smile.
Mm-hmm. He's fast though. He's fast. Ayuk finally had a good game.
Yeah, he finally got involved. He got 2 tutties.
Yeah.
That was a good game for him. It's just tough. He's a good talent, but I mean that offense is kind of just centered around Debo.
Just built to feed Debo.
Yeah, and the run, and then you also got George Kittle there too.
Yep.
But the Falcons didn't.
George Kittle finally like the players I really thought were going to succeed at San Francisco. Aside from obviously Debo, actually had a good game in the loss. Ayuk and Kittle.
Yeah.
So
49ers had to throw the ball. Falcons definitely forced them, stop the run and forced them to pass.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I guess they figured out Shanahan's offense. You just stop that run. Those community backs, stop the run and make them fucking make them throw the ball.
Yeah. Actually, did you see Mariota? So Marcus Mariota's first incompletion came in the fourth quarter.
Wow! Wait, what? I did not see that.
Dude, he was on a roll. He was on fire.
No shit.
Yeah.
Interesting. What was he? Do you know what he was? How many attempts?
I want to say it was like it wasn't. I think it was like 13.
Okay, that's not. I mean, 13 attempts going into the fourth quarter isn't a lot, but I mean that's still.
Well, he was running a lot.
He was running a lot. That's true. Yeah, I like their punter's name. Their punter's name's Pinion. So if they like, he pinned them within the 2-yard line. So Pinion pinned them. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Speaking of punts, McLeod had a nice punt return. He got hit right off the bat. Like I'm talking like catch, hit, and then kept going. It was great. It was like a 45-yard punt return. But yeah, I mean I don't like it, but this is case of the NFL's broken. Falcons. I think the Falcons still suck, but I don't know. Not this game. What else you got on this?
Debo trucked the dude.
Yeah,
he did. That was pretty good.
That was a great highlight.
Yeah. Just shows and proves our point on him as far as he's just a running back, as a wide receiver.
Yep. He's just a freakish athlete, to be honest. But yeah. You got anything else on this one?
That's about it.
Okay. Let's the 49ers lost to the Falcons 14-28. This next game, the Patriots versus the Browns. I thought, like, initially I was like, all right, there's definitely a quarterback controversy in New England. Mm-hmm. But now that I thought about it a little bit, honestly, they just make a couple of Mac Jones jerseys and throw Billy Zappi in the Mac Jones jersey, and nobody will know the difference.
Nobody's going to know the difference.
No, they don't have a quarterback controversy, and they're interchangeable too because they look exactly fucking alike. Mm-hmm. So you could have Mac Jones in when if Billy Zappi stops doing well, you put in Mac Jones, and nobody's going to know the difference. You just keep the same jersey on him, and boom. So, boom. I just solved the quarterback controversy in New England.
Yeah. Just everybody's Mac Jones.
Yes, that's what yes. See? It's easy. Boom. But how good was Zappi?
It's funny how Belichick is with his third string quarterbacks. He might have the best winning percentage with third-string quarterbacks.
Yeah, because we talked about this last week with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was technically a third-string quarterback.
Yeah,
when he came in.
And remember Jacoby Brissett. He made him look like a superstar before he was actually, what he is right now.
Matt Castle, Ryan Mallett, dude. Like, these guys are just like they're studs whenever they come off the bench for Bill.
He probably just gets so bored of with starting quarterbacks. His excitement. He's like, oh, here's a challenge. Now whenever his starting quarterback goes out. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yes, now I get to scheme and do my way.
I get to do it. Yeah, exactly. He lives for it. That's what he does. Ramondre Stevenson, I think, is the clear-cut number one in New England.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. I mean, that guy, he runs with some power. Yep, he's a dog.
Yep. So I think that's good. I don't think the Patriots have had a clear-cut number one since who do you think? Kevin Falk? Because they've always had
either that or Corey Dillon.
Yeah, but even then they had kind of a community backfield. I don't know. I think the last clear cut number one they had was, I think it was Kevin Falk. I don't know. But it's just it's just weird.
Well, Kevin Falk came in as a number one, but then he also transitioned into a third down back towards the end of his career.
Yep.
So. Because he kind of, when he got older, he kind of figured, he's like, oh, look, I'm not going to be able to sustain in the league, taking all this wear and tear. So he just kind of developed into a pass blocker and a receiver.
Yep. Zappy had a nice little stiff arm in the first quarter and then a pass. He stiff armed a defensive lineman and then threw it. That was pretty dope. I was getting fucking fired up.
Honestly, he might be earning himself into a competition role. I mean, in all seriousness, he might be I wouldn't be surprised if in the offseason he gets traded over to a team that's looking to, have him in competition with another QB for the starting role.
I think Belichick's just going to keep him for himself.
Oh, he's going to keep him for himself?
I think he's selfish. He loves that shit. Dude, Cleveland Jacoby Brissett, he, God help him. He's great. He's doing what he can, but his time's run out. Like we said, these backup quarterbacks have about a 4 to 6 week span where they're good, and he is definitely up.
Yeah, it's up. But
he wasn't bad, but it's just he's not going to be the guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was some other factors into this game because I don't know if you saw that onside kick, but that was close.
That was very close.
That was close because basically
did he touch it? Somebody touched the ball.
Somebody from out of bounds touched the ball.
Yeah, so Cleveland should have had that onside kick.
Oh, because the thing was the other player, his teammate was the one who ended up recovering it. So if he just wouldn't have touched the ball, they would have had that possession.
Yep. Also, it was 24-15 with 4.5 minutes left. And they muffed the punt.
Yep. And then they muffed the punt.
They muffed the punt. It was just a series of unfortunate Cleveland Brown events that happened late in the game, and it went from 24-15 to 38-15, all within 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was wild. That was pretty insane. Last thing I have for this, I think Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think he just needs to be changed to DPJ.
DPJ.
Yeah, how we do Valdes-Scantling, MVS. OBJ. Those the guys with these ridiculously long 3 names. Let's abbreviate it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean DPJ is pretty cool.
Yeah, DPJ.
It kind of rolls off the tongue. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was just what I was thinking. What else you got?
I think that's it on this one.
Alrighty, the Patriots beat the Browns, clobber the Browns, 38-15. Another one. Another NFL is broken game. The Jets versus the Packers.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I guess you just need to bang moms. You bang moms, your team does well. That's moral of the story here.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He is a dog. But
dog.
I don't know. Did you see the Packers jerseys?
Game? Their helmets looked like little Miss Pac-Man. Running around the field. That's all I could think about the whole time I was watching the highlights of the game. It's just it just looks like I'm Little Miss Pac-Man.
That's funny. I like that one. I had a little bit different approach.
What was theirs?
Mine. I don't know why, but I just there's no names to it. There's no logo or anything. I just thought of the Green Bay Packers as a team with no name.
With no name?
A little Game of Thrones reference. It's like a team with no name.
Yeah. Gotcha. Like what Arya was trying to do.
Yeah.
So they're going through training. Arya's training.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I like that. Well, they just haven't come out. What was it? The Man of Many Faces or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they get done, they're going to be the team of many helmets.
Yeah. When we're going to see Aaron Rodgers rip off his face towards the end of the season, and it's going to be like Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Yep. And then yeah, he could be Chad Powers.
Or he could be Chad Powers.
We never know.
Yeah.
We never know. It's a man of many faces.
Yeah.
He did do a lot of drugs, so, who knows. This was a big special teams game. There was a lot of, there was 2 block punts, block field goal. It was special teams this year. We talked about this a couple weeks, or I think last week. Special teams. This is a big year for special teams.
I would have to say so. I don't think I've seen this many blocked field goals, punts, at this point of the season in quite some time.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rodgers has a new favorite target. Maybe.
Is he getting that pissed off with all his receivers?
I don't know. I mean, he threw it to Tanyan 12 times today.
Yeah.
Or Sunday.
Yeah. So he's like, well, this guy's been on my team, for a while. I'll throw it to this guy because all these other receivers suck.
Dude, are the Jets for real, or do the Packers just suck? Because I don't think the Packers suck. I think the Jets actually might be good. Breece Hall is looking nasty.
I don't know. The Packers' offense doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. You're right, and that does not help the Packers' defense at all. I don't know. It's just hard to say that a Packers offensive line or offense isn't good when they still have Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. It's just it's weird to say.
Yeah.
But dude, it was the score was 3-3 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It was a low scoring game for most of it. They jacked up the score down at the end there. The under still hit, but I don't know. It was weird. It's just weird. Another thing I got out of this game was Sauce Gardner is very fucking good.
Sauce Gardner is good.
He is so good.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next Darrelle Revis, if I must say. I think he's going to be the island guy. Island boy.
Is that because he plays on the Jets too?
Yes. That's pretty much how my brain makes associations.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, the Jets, they do have a good young core. Let's put it that way.
They're gonna be a nice young frisky team here coming up. They're already looking good this year, but the next couple of years, if they can keep Zach Wilson healthy, keep progressing him, I don't know.
I mean, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Zach Wilson, a lot of good young pieces.
A lot of young pieces. They're gonna be good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Packers, question mark. Jets, hey, if you're a Jets fan, enjoy it while it's here. I don't know if it's gonna last, but I don't know. We'll see. What else you got?
That's about it.
All right. Jets beat Packers 27-10. Let's get to the Jaguars versus Colts. The Jags are officially back to being bad. They were back to being bad last week, but it was unofficial. This week it's official.
It's official. They're bad.
Yeah, they're bad. They're not good. Did you see Buckner had the softest sack of all time on Matt Ryan in the first quarter?
Yep.
It was just he grabbed him and he saw everything that happened last week, and he just kind of kept him up.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you're gonna see that more. They're gonna wrap them and they're just gonna stay still.
I agree.
They're gonna grab their arms and they're just gonna stand up until
right. Yeah, you just trap their arms and to where they can't throw the ball, even though they might do a little underhand flick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
they should just put a rag of chloroform in their face and make them breathe it.
And then that way they can go down.
Yeah, they can go down nice and softly, and they can't throw the ball or do anything stupid like Tom Brady did, trying to kick the player. So, it's just a nice little sack. Then and they wake up, they don't remember any of it, and they'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence was 20 of 22 for 165 yards. That's a clear case of way too many checkdowns.
Way too many
checkdowns. And this is why I think analytics are deceiving. It's a great scapegoat, and it's going to be used for a while. Like we discussed last week, it's a great scapegoat. It's going to be used, but it's deceiving because according to this game, Trevor Lawrence had one of the best completion percentages in the game.
Yep.
20 of 22. That's huge. That's insane. But it's so deceiving. He had 165 yards and they lost the game.
I don't even think did he have any interceptions either?
I don't know. I don't think he had an interception. I'll check on that. But
because that's also going to take into account too with the analytics is did he turn the ball over? If he did, if he didn't. But yeah, I just if you're going to throw 20 passes and you don't get over 200 yards, I mean that's
oh no, he had 0 interceptions and he had a touchdown.
Yeah,
and according to analytics, that is a great fucking game, especially with the completion percentage that he had.
Mm-hmm.
So analytics is dumb. It's not dumb. I take that back. It's not dumb. I just don't think it should be used for everything like people are using it.
Yeah, it's being abused.
Yes, yes, that's the best way of putting it. It's being abused because if they're going to use analytics, then they should have stats for like we were talking about the unearned interceptions for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
The unearned interceptions for quarterbacks. This should be a loss. This should go on his stats as far as good, maybe a good game, but a loss in a separate category. I know the team lost, but that should be an individual quarterback loss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you do that for the pitchers in baseball?
Uh-huh.
They have the individual wins and losses. Yeah, I think they should do that. But yeah, I don't really have anything else for this one other than these were two just bad teams that just happened to have a decent game.
Yeah, it was an entertaining game.
It was a good game.
Trevor Etienne is very explosive.
He is very explosive.
He is very fast.
Yes. He's gonna be fun to watch here. I just hope the Jaguars can figure it out.
Yeah, Colts is a different team with Michael Pittman healthy.
Way different.
They're a way different team.
Way different, dude. He's so good. He opens up the field so much.
Well, and the other thing I was thinking about is they really don't actually have any other pass catchers. I mean, look, Alec Pierce has had some pretty good games, but I don't think he's a clear number one. So, when Pittman comes in and he's playing a little bit well, it's going to help support Alec Pierce. He's going to be a good supporting cast.
Paris Campbell is not bad.
Paris Campbell is.
He had some pretty good catches.
He did, but I don't think he's consistent.
He's not exactly. He's not consistent. I understand that. You're right. Completely. I mean, he had 16 targets. Holy shit! I'm just looking at this. 16 targets, 13 catches, 134 yards. Yeah, I actually, you know what?
But that's the thing. I mean, if you got to focus on Michael Pittman, then that opens up other receivers.
Yep. If they can just get Jonathan Taylor healthy, one more decent wide receiver, and Michael Pittman, they might actually be good. Because I really do. As much as everybody clowns Matt Ryan, I think he has a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, he can at least read a defense and pick them apart.
Right.
But I don't know. Finishing off with this game, did you see that lateral play, the last lateral play that the Jags did to try to attempt to win it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of set up pretty well. They definitely practiced.
You think they practiced it?
Oh,
yeah. I'm okay, good, because I kind of got that notion as well. I think they might have actually practiced it, which is good. Again, incorporate rugby into football.
Yep. And because the first couple of tosses were scripted. You could tell they were scripted.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they knew exactly where to get it right back to Trevor Lawrence and get it to the other side of the field. They just from there I don't know. I don't think they either executed the game plan they wanted to or it went according to plan.
Right. You got to understand because these guys, when you're playing rugby, you're trained to go behind the guy. You're trained to go behind the runner. In football, you're trained to go in front of the runner to block.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely two different mindsets. So in the game, when you're a football player, all your instincts is to just launch your body into the player in front of you, so that the person with the ball behind you can run forward, and the opposite is true in rugby.
Yep.
So like, I think that's essentially what it is. It's just trying to like change the mindset. Like you have to run behind them. Mm-hmm. Which is so difficult. If you've ever, like, anybody who's ever played rugby or transitioned from football to rugby knows that, like, staying behind the runner is such a hard thing. It's such it's an easy concept, but it's so fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mentally you just want to launch yourself, like I said. But anyways, I think, like, yeah, they should practice it more. And I think if you just keep them coming back around behind the runner, I don't know. I think it could work out better.
Yeah.
But you got anything else in this game?
That's about it.
All right. The Jaguars lose to the Colts 27-34. Next game, Vikings versus Dolphins. Dude, Miami needs Tua back.
Yeah.
Waddle and Tyreek Hill balled out this week, and Teddy Bridgewater actually did pretty well. But I think they're just a different team with Tua.
Do we have an explanation on why Teddy Bridgewater came in?
I think Skylar Thompson got hurt, right?
But why didn't Teddy Bridgewater start before Skylar Thompson?
Because I think Teddy Bridgewater is not 100% healthy. I think at this point their third string quarterback got hurt, so their beat up second string had to come in. Because after that, they probably would have just had to start their kicker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they signed somebody during that week. That's typically what you do if your second string quarterback and your first string quarterback are hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually bring somebody in, but I mean, I don't know. Like he played a good bit of that game. I don't know. It baffles me.
Yeah, I know.
You never see that.
No. And like I said, he did pretty well.
Oh, he did good.
It was.
If he was good to play, then I don't know. Why don't you start him?
Like I said, the only explanation I have for that is he wasn't 100% healthy. I don't really know. This Kirk Cousins had the ultimate Kirk Cousins stat. He was 20 for 30 with 2 touchdowns and 175 yards. Like, not great, not bad, just completely mediocre. Exactly how I like my Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
The Vikings are 5-1. They'll probably win the NFC North, unless the Packers figure something out. Mm-hmm. Which is not something like I was going against everyone and their grandmother who said the Vikings were going to win the NFC North, and I bet the Packers. So obviously fade my picks and you'll get rich.
Yep.
I went 0 for 8 on Sunday.
0 for 8.
0 for 8. Yeah, I got a new 0%. I'm on 0 of my bets.
New record.
I don't know. I think 1-11's worse. I think 1-11 is worse than 0-8.
Well, because you technically got more wrong.
I got more wrong. Correct. Yeah. Let's see. The Hills and Valleys struck again. He had 177 yards this week, 47 yards last week.
Yep.
He is a Hills and Valley.
He's a Hills and Valleys.
Yeah.
We had gritties by the white wide receivers from both teams in this game.
And didn't somebody make fun of Gesicki's gritty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase did.
Jamar Chase did. That's right.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't gonna lie, this ain't it.
I'm glad people are starting to recognize this because we were talking about this weeks ago.
Yeah.
They stop with the gritties. It's just stop.
Yeah.
It's not
if
fun.
anybody killed it, Gesicki killed it.
Gesicki killed it. Zach Wilson killed it. But actually, no, Zach Wilson's dog. So he can't
He's a dog. He can't kill it.
Yeah. Let's stop.
You can't kill a dog.
You can't kill a dog. I mean, they did with Old Yeller, but that's a different story.
That's sad.
Nobody wants to.
We're not a sad podcast.
We're not a sad. We're happy. We're positive podcast. This is good. We're good. You can't kill a dog. Dog. You got anything else in this game?
No, this was a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah. All right. The Vikings beat the Dolphins 24-16. Another NFL broke game. Giants versus the Ravens.
Are the Giants good?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea. They're 5-1.
I can't figure this out.
Dude, they're the most confusing fucking team in the NFL, and I don't know because I don't know if the Ravens are good. Here's the thing: this is about the time during the year. I remember last year, the year before. This is about the time of the year where the Ravens start off hot, and then we start questioning them because they lose a couple of games, and in the mid-season, we're like, are they frauds? And then they turn it around. They end up winning the AFC North and then, going to the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But this is about the time where we start questioning, hey, are they actually really good?
Yeah, that's true.
Are they good?
Well, Mark Andrews is good. Mark Andrews is, real good.
It's one of the most consistent fucking players in the NFL. I don't understand.
He catches everything.
He does.
And Lamar Jackson definitely trusts him. He trusts him with everything.
It's like Patrick Mahomes trusting Travis Kelce is the exact same as Lamar Jackson trusting Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. It's just Dude, Brian Daboll is making lemons out of those lemonades. Like we said earlier, he's making something out of like garbage.
Yeah,
he's I don't understand. I think his players just might be scared of him. His players just might be scared because he's like a intimidating dude.
He's a wild card.
Yeah, not like a Dan Campbell quite, but yeah, he was a wrestler in college apparently, or high school or college. So the wrestlers are always wild cards. Like, I'm not saying they can't be good people. I had some great friends that were wrestlers, but they are wild cards.
They're wild cards.
They are definitely wild cards. Fun wild cards, but yeah, they are definitely wild cards. So I think they might be just
Giants are playing scared.
They're playing well, but like not scared of their opponent, scared of their coach, which is directing them towards their opponent. You can't play scared of your opponent.
Yeah, you can't play scared of your opponent. But if you're scared of your coach, especially like Alabama players are with Nick Saban.
Yes.
Then you're gonna let that out all on the field.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you would much rather just dominate on the field than have to deal with
Correct.
Your coach afterwards in the locker room.
Absolutely. So the scarier your coach is, the better your team's going to be.
Yes.
Got it. Love it. I think some like Ole Miss players are just scared of Lane Kiffin just because he's a wild card.
Oh, he's a wild card in a different way.
In a different right. Yes. Yeah. Agreed. We'll get to college football later, but because this was a crazy fucking weekend of college sports.
Yeah.
Or at least college football. But back to the Giants Ravens. Dude, honestly, the Ravens kind of looked a little undisciplined, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I could see that a little
bit undisciplined. I don't have anything specific to say to back that up. It was just kind of the overall vibe I got from the game.
Well, I mean, we've kind of seen this already with a couple of games, like the Bills game and this game. It's like they've gotten ahead and then they've given up leads.
Oh yeah, they've given up 3 big time leads this year.
Yeah, so that's where their 3 losses are.
Right.
So, and that's a discipline thing. So you're absolutely right with that.
Yep. And they're playing Cleveland next week, who loves giving up big leads too. So I think this is going to be one of the best games of the week next week.
We might see 5 big league changes.
Yes. So actually that'd be awesome. One team be up 14 and then change leads, and the other team's up 14, and then keep changing leads.
Yeah,
I'm down. I love it. That would be awesome.
Drastic lead changes.
Yeah. So yeah. Kenyon Drake. I think he's the man in Baltimore now. He looked good.
He looked
good. And J.K. Dobbins is a backup running back. I finally admit it because I always draft him thinking in my fantasy leagues, thinking he's going to be that productive running back number 1. J.K. Dobbins is a solid running back number 2.
Is it something that has to do with Ohio State running backs?
I don't know.
Ohio State running backs are just not good.
No, and I think Zeke should be. If Zeke wasn't paid so much money, he'd be a running back too as well.
Yep.
I don't know. I think they're just running back twos. But yeah, Giants. Definitely low-key good. I don't know if they're actually good, but they're definitely low-key good.
They're low-key good.
I don't know.
I don't know. Speaking about the Giants, I didn't know that they don't have a logo in the middle of their field. They just have an NFL symbol. They just pulled a Rob Lowe.
The New York. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they do have just an NFL symbol.
Yeah.
They are the team version of Rob Lowe.
Yes.
Okay. I don't like that because I kind of like Rob Lowe. I don't like the Giants.
Oh, okay.
I like them this year just because I have a significant bet on the Eagles not winning the NFC East.
Yeah, so you're a big Giants fan this year.
This year. Just this year. So, go NFL.
Go NFL.
Except for the Eagles. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else on this one? This was a good game.
I don't know if you saw that play where it was the field goal where Justin Tucker hit the post.
Oh, the doink?
Yeah, but
we had 2 doinks, right?
That was loud as shit.
Yeah.
That one was
he
like...
fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, they could have heard that from I was going to say Jersey, but they were in Jersey. No, they're not in Jersey. They probably heard it over from
MetLife. I think MetLife's in New Jersey.
Yeah, MetLife is.
Yeah, they were.
They
at
play.
MetLife.
They play at MetLife too.
Yeah, both the Jets and the Giants play at MetLife.
Okay, so yeah, they heard it from all the way in New York.
In New York, yeah. Buffalo heard it.
Buffalo heard it.
Got it. Okay. he kicks the ball so fucking hard, and it's accurate.
Yeah. He probably wanted to hit the goalpost.
He was probably aiming for it. He's like, let's make it challenging for me. How about I try and hit the goalpost and make it go in?
Yeah.
He's just bored.
He's bored now.
Got it. What else you got?
That's it.
All right. The Giants beat the Ravens 24-20. Again, another NFL broken game. Bucks versus Steelers. What? Mitch Trubisky comeback game. What?
Yeah, like
Mitch Trubisky's one of those quarterbacks. He's better off the bench. He's like a six-man, like in the NBA, the six-man. They're just better off the bench.
He's better off the bench.
Mitch is just better off the bench.
Okay,
they need to start any quarterback for the first quarter, and then have Mitch Trubisky come off the bench.
Okay.
That's how he's just better off the bench.
I mean, that's true. That's kind of what he did whenever he was at Buffalo. He was technically off the bench.
Off the bench.
Preseason, but
this was another game with a doink. You saw Boswell hit the crossbar?
Yeah, now he had a doink and go in. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I feel like that's the best whenever you're if you're actually live at the stadium. That's the best scene.
It's
one of those.
Thrilling.
Yes.
It's thrilling because you can visibly see the ball go up, and then you're in limbo for that split second where it's in the air. You unless you're in the corners of that end zone, and you can see which way the ball's going, you have no idea what happened.
Well, I think you have a better vision than you do on the TV. The TV's perspective is
it's awful.
You have no idea, but there's some areas in the stands that are. You could see maybe if you're across the field, you can't see it as much. But if you're a little bit closer to that field goal, like you said, that field goal post, you could just see all the action.
Oh, it's thrilling. Speaking of which, this was a big field goal game. There was a lot. It was 5 or 6 field goals.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising for the Steelers, but for the Bucks, yeah.
Dude, I don't know what's going. The divorce thing has to be affecting Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady's definitely not focused.
No, he's not like he usually is.
He's
throwing temper tantrums like he's a fucking child, and he just doesn't look like he's all the way there.
Yeah, and then he went to Robert Kraft's wedding, which was on Saturday night, which was the day before the game. So he's not locked in,
bro. That one blew my mind.
Yeah,
if you're Robert Kraft. How on God's green earth are you having a fucking wedding in the middle of football season?
Nah.
That's a bad move for our friends to do.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get married in the middle of football season and you get surprised when we're watching fucking football on our phones during your ceremony and during your reception, then that's on you, bud. That's
your
on
fault.
you. That is your fault for scheduling a wedding in the middle of football season.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it on a football in the fall and on the football season. You have to do it a Friday wedding. It's got to be a Friday wedding.
Yeah, you can't do anything else.
I'm sorry to the high schoolers, but yeah, it's got to be a Friday wedding.
It's got to be because on Saturday I'm watching football. I'm sorry. And honestly, the only way to be appropriate is if you were cool with us watching football during your ceremony and you had a projector at your reception playing football.
Yep.
That's the only reason. That's the only way it would be acceptable. I've been to multiple of my friends' weddings that were in the fall, and we were just in the backseat watching fucking football. There was one wedding I went to. It was during the Michigan Ohio State game. It was rivalry week.
That's terrible.
It's insane. We were literally just watching fucking football in the back, and it was one of my boys, so he was like, yeah, I get it. That's understandable. He got married. We were just watching football.
We need to file a petition. Only spring weddings.
Only spring weddings. Yes, love it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Come on, you don't want your relationship to fall. You want a little spring in your relationship.
Yes, it's spring forward.
Yeah, spring
forward, not fall back.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We figured out weddings. Wow.
So all you girls listening.
Yes. Two single guys figured out weddings.
Yes.
Nice. We're good. Sweet. Last thing I had on this one was Chase Claypool, who was 7 for 7, 96 yards and a tutty. He's finally doing things.
Yeah, he did some things. I don't know if you saw that we had another roughing the passer call. Devin White.
Dude, that was terrible.
Yeah, he. I don't know. He should have known from last week. But I mean, you cannot put one arm on the quarterback. You cannot put one arm and just push him down.
No,
push him over. That's way too much.
Also, I think Devin White is just like a gigantic monster, and he's huge. So like him putting one arm looks worse than it actually is.
I mean, he probably just chucks that around while chucking weight in the weight room.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's like, go over here.
Mm-hmm.
Go on this side of the rack.
Move.
Yeah. Oh, shit, you're not weights.
You're not weights. Fuck. Yeah, you got anything else on this one? This was it was a decent game. I mean, good for Steelers fans. They have something to cheer about.
Yep.
So even though Kenny Pickett got hurt, so we'll see how that goes. I think he's fine, right?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go with that one.
He's a football player.
He's a football guy. You got anything else?
That's about it.
All right, Bucks lose to the Steelers 18-20. Next one, I don't really want to talk about this one too much, but the Panthers versus Rams.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Panthers looked decent early on, and McCaffrey is kind of being wasted in Carolina.
Yeah,
like they need to get rid of him.
Yep. I think the biggest storyline out of this one was the Robbie Anderson.
That was big.
Yeah.
When you get kicked out of the game by your own team, that's a first. I'd never heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've seen people. We saw Antonio Brown kick himself out of the game.
That wasn't. Yes,
that wasn't. He wasn't kicked out by his team.
He kicked himself.
He kicked himself out.
That was a first as well.
Yes.
We got a lot of firsts these last couple of years.
Yes. But yes, the head coach or the interim coach, Steve Wilkes, he definitely was not having anything. He wasn't having nothing about with Robbie Anderson.
I don't think Robbie Anderson really wanted to be there. I think it stems back from when Baker got there.
Yeah,
he never wanted
to be there.
He never wanted Baker to be there. So like I think like when Baker got there, he's like, all right, I'll give it a. He wasn't like all the way in, but then he was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. And then when he figured out that the Carolina Panthers just suck, he's like, all right, I want out. I'm fucking frustrated. So
got himself kicked out, and then next day delivery to Arizona.
Which we'll talk about that one because that's our next game. But yeah, Panthers just need to gut the system and go and start over. Like how the fucking Saints lost to that team is beyond me. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nope, makes no sense.
But yeah, that's it was an average game altogether. Like the Rams still aren't good. The Panthers suck.
Yep, I think if PJ Walker hit his expiration date, he played too many games.
He did
because he was viewed as a great backup. Because he did have those. He had at the beginning had some good games. All he had to do was just still be a backup, not have to go into the games. But now he got replaced by Jacob Eason.
Yep.
His expiration.
Eason was a quarterback or a Georgia guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a Georgia guy, and then he transferred over to Washington.
Yep. Yeah, that's about it. You got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Panthers lose to the Rams 10-24. Next game, Seahawks versus Cardinals. So we were talking about the Hollywood Brown.
Battle of the Birds.
Kenneth Walker is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I was watching this and I was like, Kenneth Walker might not be bad. And then by the end of the game, I was like, scratch that. He's really good.
He is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed sparks of that during the Saints game a couple weeks ago. But I think this was his like official like, hey guys, I'm here and I'm fucking good game.
Yes.
It was awesome. Dude, the Seahawks wide receivers are fucking weird. I never know what's gonna happen. Like I never know if Tyler Lockett's gonna get just catch like 10 catches. I never know if DK Metcalf is gonna it's so fucking unpredictable.
Is it them or are we just still not convinced Geno Smith is good? Has he just not still convinced us that even after all these performances that like, hey, he's actually a good quarterback?
I think he's a good quarterback. He's just a wild card. It was like it's almost like when Drew Brees was at his prime at the Saints. The only receiver he would throw to 8 or 9 receivers a game, But the only receiver you really got was Marcus Colston because you never knew where the ball was fucking going.
Yeah.
You never knew which receivers were going to get targets.
Yeah, he just was very good at analyzing the play and seeing what their mismatch was.
Yep. Kyler's got to hold on to the ball. He lost the ball. I think he had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
I think he's getting a little careless.
Well, I was about to say I think him and Lamar Jackson have just gotten away too long with the technique that they actually carry the football.
Yeah.
Because they carry the ball with awful technique.
Yes.
It is terrible technique, but they get away with it because of their athletic ability.
Right. And the only way you can do that, and you can carry the ball like that and it be okay without athletic ability, is if you carry it the way Jamarcus Russell carries it. Jamarcus Russell had ginormous hands, and he carried the ball like that, but because he could literally wrap his entire hand around the entire ball.
Yeah.
Basically. It was like watching Shaq grab a palm of basketball.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's
kind of like what you can do with your wrist is like what he was able to do with a football.
Right. Yeah. You put your fingers around your wrist, and if you can touch your birdie finger with your thumb, you have like big hands or something. I don't know. It was something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how they carry how Jamarcus Russell carried the ball. Kyler Murray, I don't know how big his hands are, but I can't imagine they're that big. Like they've got to be kind of small.
Yeah,
and the way he carries it, you're gonna drop the ball if you get hit.
I mean, considering he looks like a little high school kid running out there, with the football, no, he does not cover his whole hand does not cover the football.
He still looks like a little kid. It's so funny. Yeah. So they lost Marquise Brown for 6 games, but they will get DeAndre Hopkins back.
They will get DeAndre Hopkins, and then they traded for Robbie Anderson.
They got Robbie Anderson, and they're getting DeAndre Hopkins. So, honestly, they're fine.
Yep, just still living by the Cliff Kingsbury motto.
Yep.
There's never too much wide receivers.
Never too many wide receivers. I don't know, man. The Cardinals in the fourth quarter have been, unreal. If you look up Kyler Murray's stats in the fourth quarter, they are wild. He's very good in the fourth quarter. But I thought they were going to come back, and, I guess not. I don't know. Seahawks might be, they might be frisky.
They're confusing, to say the least.
Actually, that's a better one. They're confusing.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
That's about it. We
right.
can move on to this next game.
Yeah, the best game. Just Bills versus Chiefs. Points-wise, it was a little underwhelming. I thought there was going to be more points scored. I love this matchup.
Romo called it. Romo pretty much called the score at the beginning of the game.
What did he say?
He said that he didn't think it was going to be a very high-scoring game. He was like, I'll probably just get roughly about 24, 21 points by each of these teams. And,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, Romo's awesome.
Yeah, Romo knows what he's. But that was the thing. He basically was saying how defenses they were like they're just not going to give up the big play, so they're just going to make the other offense work their way down the field.
Yep.
And not give up the big play.
I still think that some big plays could have been given up late in the game. We know when people get tired and stuff, they stop. Their mind's not as focused. They're not as alert, and their body's wearing down. That's when the big plays were going to be given up. Hey. The Bills didn't let the Chiefs come back. Let's put it that way. This was. I think they gave Patrick Mahomes too much time. I think Patrick Mahomes had too much time, so he didn't know what to do with it.
I don't know if they gave him too much time. He just kept dancing around the pocket.
He had too much. No. I'm talking about at the end of the game. He had over a minute. To drive the ball down.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was too much time. If it's more than a minute, that's too much time. Patrick Mahomes doesn't know what to do with himself. He needs 45 seconds or less, and then he'll drive it down and score.
Well, he basically did that on the first half. He literally kind of had the same thing that they did in the the divisional playoff game last year, because that's basically what this was. This was a rematch of the divisional playoff game that was just spectacular.
Yeah. And it really didn't disappoint. Obviously, look, you're not going to get a game like last year's playoff match. You're just not going. You're just not going to get it.
Yeah.
It's just. I'm sorry that Mahomes scoring with 13 seconds left in the game to win. That's unheard of.
Yeah. Well, he also did. But he did it again this game, if you saw in the first half, where whenever he had 12 seconds left in the game and drove it down to get Harrison Buckner, who kicked a 62-yarder.
62.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy how these kickers are just
They're either really fucking good or they're really fucking bad.
Yeah.
There's no in between with
But
these
the really
kickers.
fucking good ones are like really, really good.
Awesome.
Like we didn't have they weren't even attempting 60-yarders.
Yeah.
And now it's like, dude, they're doing 60-yarders left and right.
Yep.
Now whether they're making them all or not, it's like 60-yarders are like the new 50-yarders.
Right. They're like well, I'd say like the new like 55-yarders. Like like 50 to 55-yarders. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, there was like 4 lead changes in this game, and it was a 1-point or a 1-score game the whole time.
Oh yeah.
There was nobody was like pulling ahead or anything like that. It was just a really, really good game. Let's see, Josh Allen. There was a nice call. It said Allen with the keep and the leap.
Oh, Allen with the keep and the leap. Yeah, that was a sick play.
Yeah, that was so fucking sick. That was cool though. I like the keep and the leap.
Yeah.
It's not nice little run or rhyme. Stephon Diggs is fucking the truth. He's the fucking man.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
He's the fucking man. Like him. They have him and Gabe Davis. Which one would you rather? Would you rather Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle or Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis?
Oh, why do you gotta do that to me?
Right? It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost would rather Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis.
I'd have to.
I'd say Tyreek Hill. Well, because Tyreek Hill's hills
I think
and valleys.
it depends on what quarterback you are.
Oh, that's a good point.
If you're a quarterback that has like some good accuracy, I don't know. I guess I'm comparing with both of these quarterbacks, like Josh Allen and Tua.
Let's say Josh Allen's throwing to both.
Okay, Josh Allen's throwing to both. I almost have to go with his receiving corps because Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis are great route runners, and Josh Allen has a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
And he's just going to slip it in those tight spots.
Yep.
And
that's what she said.
Yeah. So, yeah, he probably does. But
he probably does.
Yeah. But anyways, but like you get good route runners that can get any sort of separation, he's going to drill it right through it.
Right.
Whereas like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, it's like, I don't know. He could benefit with those two because if they get behind the defense, he's got the arm strength to just toss it up.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. Just put them all four on the same.
All four on the same team.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just pull a Cliff Kingsbury. Just all the wide receivers.
All the wide receivers. You got anything else on this one?
I thought the Bills actually. I do want to talk about this. I thought the Bills almost ruined it when they went for fourth in the second quarter, fourth and goal instead of taking the points.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to come back to bite them, but it didn't.
Yeah, it almost did. If they would have scored a touchdown at the end there, that would have come back to bite them in the ass because they would have had 27. So
yep. But yeah, it was crazy that whenever they had that minute and 4 seconds left in the game, we just all thought we were about to see it again.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes just go back down and
drive down and again, I think he had too much time. He was like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Too much time.
Yeah, but the Bills. Let's move on. The Bills beat the Chiefs 24-20. All right, let's get to the Saints game. This was a bittersweet game, and of course, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase balled out. It was cool because like Burrow was wearing Jamar Chase's national championship jersey
as he walked in. Yep.
The LSU national championship jersey. So like that was a classy move. That was a cool move. It was just like it was so weird because like I wanted to like when Burrow had that like 19-yard touchdown run, I was like I wanted to be mad, but at the same time like it's like it was tugging with my emotions, my emotion strengths. Like I didn't know how to react the entire game.
Yeah, it was one of the more bittersweet games for Saints fans.
Yeah, it was. And here's the thing: we had the game. We just gave up big plays late.
Yep.
We had the game in hand. The Shaheed had a nice touchdown run. That 44-yard run he had.
Yes,
that was cool. I didn't know he was on the team, to be honest.
He might have actually got pulled up that week, to be honest with you. But yeah, he's got some speed, and he kind of balled out. And maybe honestly, and that's the opportunity. Like is those practice players or
He only had one, and he only had one rush too. That was it.
Yeah. those practice guys teams, I mean, you're not going to get many opportunities, but if you get it, you gotta take advantage of it. So there, I mean, who knows? He might have gotten himself into the wide receiver corps a little bit.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, the Saints, the Saints need to figure some shit out. I don't know, because like even when Jameis Winston was there, we didn't look like it was always like we could be in the game with teams, and it didn't matter which team it was. We could always be in the game, but like we would just come up short. Like you could be one of the best teams in the game, or you could be one of the worst, and we would just always come up short. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the Saints team. I guess I had just really high expectations for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking NFC Championship game, which obviously, bad move on my part. I get it. But that's just me being a passionate fan. I have to pump myself up for that shit.
Well, I mean, the thing is like we kept everybody together, and we didn't lose much until I guess the beginning of the season when we lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, and
that turned out to be kind of a big blow.
But I think our defense has been good. Our offense can't it can't keep up. It can't keep up. Like we're just putting too much on our defense, and our offense can't keep up with. It's like the Big 12. It's like we can allow this many points, but we're just going to score more points. Mm-hmm. We are allowing a certain amount of points, but we can't score more points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the defense is playing decent, and I just don't know. I don't know. We got to figure something out. We got to figure it out. I don't know what it is we have to figure out, which is making it even more frustrating for me, because I want to know what to figure out, but I can't figure it out. So I can't solve the problem.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of people hurt. It's a tough year.
I know. It is. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's got people hurt. But yeah, Michael Thomas needs to figure it the fuck out, man. Like, what you got me so excited, dude. You were playing so fucking well, and then now you're just hurt all the time now. I don't get it. But you got anything else?
That's about it.
All right, let's get to the next game. Eagles versus Cowboys. I was really hoping the Cowboys would come through for me. But I guess the Eagles might be good.
Oh, don't say it. Don't you say it. Come on now.
Okay, listen. I think the Eagles are the Baltimore Ravens. I think that they kind of they have a pretty good defense. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson are the same fucking players. They have decent receivers, and their tight end's good. I don't know. They just kind of remind me of maybe the Eagles have a better O-line. Eagles probably have a better O-line, but I'm thinking that the Eagles this is how I'm convincing myself that I'm still going to win this NFC East bet. I think they're like the Ravens, and once they start playing decent teams, which they do have an easy schedule, I will give them that. But once they start playing decent teams, and once they lose, I think people are going to figure them out, and I think they're going to lose more.
The good teams are going to exploit them.
Yes, the good teams are going to exploit them, and they're going to lose even more.
Gotcha.
So that's my spend zone on this one.
Gotcha.
Because I was really hoping that the Cowboys would win.
So was this a relief game for Dak?
Yes, I actually have that.
Game
I have that down. Cowboys need Dak back, and Cooper has run out of his playing time. We had there's that timer for backup quarterbacks.
There's a timer for backup quarterbacks.
Cooper Rush has ran out of time.
Yep.
He's finally lost one. I mean, he went 5-1, so that's not bad. But again, that 4 to 6 game window, that's it.
He did enough. He did enough to make Cowboy fans want Dak back.
Yes, because they're excited because they do have a really good defense. They got some good wide receivers. Obviously, Pollard and Zeke are really really good running backs. The Cowboys have most of the pieces in place to make a playoff run. So, and their schedule's not that bad. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about all I had for this one. Yeah.
If there's one advice that I could give to Cooper Rush for this game is just don't throw it to Darius Slay's. Don't throw it to Darius Slay's way.
No.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, it's not going to work out.
It's never going to work out for you. He's too good. I guess some other things in this game. Vander Esch tried to do a Troy Polamalu.
Yep.
He tried to jump over the pile and stop a quarterback sneak. Not quite.
Not quite. It's hard though. Like, come on. Like, somehow Troy Polamalu knew when they were gonna call hike every time. Like, he had a time machine or something.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Then the last thing I will bring up, the Noah Brown. Noah Brown had a spectacular college football touchdown catch.
What did it explain?
So basically, he had, I don't know if you saw, but he had a one-handed grab where he brought it down, bobbled it a little bit, but caught the ball, but he only had 1 foot in bounds.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was a spectacular college football touchdown, but got to get to.
Unfortunately, in the NFL, you got to get 2.
He almost had his butt cheek down. He almost had.
There you go. That would have
a cheek
counted.
down.
That would have counted.
It was very close, but too big of a butt. Too much of it was outside.
Too much cake,
out of
man.
bounds.
Too much cake. That's
too
when
much cake.
that's when LMAO is going to be good because you just didn't. If you didn't have that much ass, you would be able. You'd probably be in.
Yeah.
So. Oh wow. You got anything else?
That's about it.
All right. Let's quickly go through this game. The Broncos versus Chargers. Stop putting the Broncos on primetime. That's the only note I had. Only note I had. Stop putting Broncos on.
I think
prime
Broncos
time.
fans are like not wanting him on primetime anymore.
No, I think he actually would probably do. Like, I think the Broncos would do better not on primetime.
I think we could probably check the stats on that too.
I think they would do like from here on out. I think they will do better if they are not on primetime. Yeah. If they don't have the whole fucking country watching them, then they will be better.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I had on this one. I expected more from the Chargers, but what can you do?
We had a Hail Mary, a pass attempt. A very weak one by Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
kind of surprised.
That was a little surprising.
Yeah, I would think he would have been like the strong arm quarterback. Do you think that was an analytics thing to throw a short?
I don't know.
Like the chances of it getting caught.
I wouldn't put it past Brandon Staley. So
yeah, so
Russ Wilson had a Kirk Cousins stat line.
Okay,
15-28, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. He also got sacked 4 times, but yeah, that's an ultimate Kirk Cousins.
So he doesn't know how to run out of the pocket anymore.
I guess not. Did he forget how to play football?
He might have. He might have.
Yeah, I think he actually he might have forgotten how to play football, dude. This is so bad. Such a dumpster fire in Denver when they had like such high expectations for this team. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but you got anything else? I didn't really have. That was a boring ass fucking game.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's go to college football real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Go fucking Tigers, baby.
Go Tigers.
Go fucking Tigers, dude. I think we could have beat Florida by more than that. Like I think we just kind of like gave up some big plays.
We did.
That was it.
I mean, but the thing is, a 10-point game, 10-point win on the road, for any like a hostile environment like Florida is.
Oh, especially in the swamp.
Yep. So I don't know. You can't complain on that. But yeah, it still was more of a dominating win, and Vegas even knows it too because we're a 1.5 point favorite against Ole Miss.
Against an undefeated Ole Miss, we are a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's what it's just. The rankings don't make any sense. They don't fucking matter. Yeah. Honestly, let's just the rankings are just there so that these people at the NCAA have something to feel important about.
Yeah,
that's it. They do not fucking matter.
No.
Which is why I think they keep expanding the playoffs because the top 10 is just all up for grabs. Like we've seen this multiple times this year. Vegas does not give a fuck what you're ranked. It's just all about the vibes. That's what I think Vegas does. They kind of sense the vibes.
They sense the vibes. Like they're like, all right, you know what? It's going to be a rockin'. Like the weather's going to cool off in Louisiana. It's going to be a rockin' atmosphere at Tiger Stadium.
Yep.
Like there's no way they're going to. I'm going Tigers.
Football weather. Weather.
It's football weather.
Yeah. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
You got anything else in this one? I want to get to like the game of the week.
No, this was good. This is a good game.
It was
for
good
the Tigers.
For us. It was good for us. That was huge. I hate Florida. I can't stand Florida. It's like Alabama's number 1. Florida's a close number 2 as far as my most hated teams in the entire world.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels had over 300 yards. He was actually flinging the ball to his wide receivers.
Slinging it, dude. Oh, it was so good to fucking see, man.
Yeah,
that's what I needed. It was always like it was always like he was kind of being bottled up a little bit.
Yeah,
and Brian Kelly just wasn't letting him go.
No.
I still like Brian Kelly. I think I was talking to some people this weekend and initially I think initially it was a panic hire. Like, I think all the coaches were being hired up. Because if you remember, when we hired him, he was pretty much the only one left. Like, Lincoln Riley had been hired. Billy Napier had been hired. Like, all of our prospects that we were looking at had already been hired. And I think it was kind of a panic hire. But at the same time, I think he has more talent at LSU. Like we've discussed multiple times, he has more talent at LSU than he ever would have at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is it is a good hire, and we'll there's a game that will actually describe that when we get down the list of the college football games. But yeah, no, it's a good hire. Mm-hmm. I go back and forth. I hate him and I love him.
Yeah,
so,
me too. But I think he's a good college coach. He would not work out in the NFL.
He'll win me over at some point.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, he'll win every single LSU fan over if he just beats Alabama.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of college coach that wasn't made out for the NFL, you know who's number 9 right now in the nation?
Who?
UCLA.
What's his fucking name?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, the Eagles guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Oregon guy.
Yeah. Why can't I think of his fucking name?
And the San Francisco guy.
I know. I can't think of his fucking name.
When you're eating a bag of...
Chip Kelly. Nice. Well done. Yeah, that's true. Oh, dude, UCLA is looking fucking fire.
Yep, they're number 9 in the nation.
Chip Kelly is literally he's the epitome of a college quarterback that should never, ever go to the fucking pros.
No.
It's like Nick Saban and then Chip Kelly.
Yeah, he should never leave college.
Just don't ever leave college.
He's having too much fun in college. Don't leave.
Absolutely. He loves being out there on the West Coast. He loves being able to do whatever the fuck he wants because they after Oregon, man, he was dominated at Oregon.
Yep.
It was just like he was lights out. So like obviously these college teams are going to let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and UCLA gave him enough time because he's been there for a while now. But
right.
They gave him enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, let's get to the game of the week. The fucking Tennessee Volunteers take down the fucking Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yep.
That was the most amount of points the Alabama Crimson Tide had given up to any team, since 1907. 1907. They didn't even have pads back then. They gave up more than that to Swanee.
To Swanee?
Swanee. Yeah. 1907.
Jeez, some Pete's.
And the Tennessee pulled in LSU.
I pulled in LSU.
They pulled in LSU. There was an earthquake that registered on the Richter scale on Tennessee's campus.
Oh, wow.
Leland Stadium shook the world.
Yeah, there was enough people to do so. That stadium's huge.
Huge. And, like, they fucking just... I mean, obviously, when that field goal went through, they just erupted.
The worst field goal ever, but
that was a wounded duck.
Yeah,
that was a wounded duck if I've ever seen one.
I mean, you're watching it and you're like, oh, there's no chance that goes in. And
I thought it got blocked.
Yeah, and next thing you know, it's just like the field. People start storming the field. It's like, oh, well, I guess it went in.
Bro, people were taking like pieces of the grass of the field home. Like this, I saw pictures of people with like pieces of the goalposts.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you got to do for memorabilia, that's an all-time win.
Oh, all-time win.
All-time win.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like, it was like, I was looking at it, like, it's a testament to how good Alabama has been. They're still the standard.
Oh, you're going to do one of those.
Th're still the standard. Yeah.
You're going to do one of those.
No. I'm talking them up because when LSU beats them, then we can do the same fucking thing. Yeah, you got to talk them up. Like,
you got to talk them up?
Yeah, they're the best team in the nation.
Okay.
And we're going to beat the best team in the nation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing there?
I see what you're doing there.
Okay,
it's good strategy.
Yeah.
It's good strategy.
Yeah.
Alabama had 17 penalties in this game. Very sloppy.
How pissed is Nick Saban?
Oh, he's so pissed.
Nick Saban might like just Jeffrey Dahmer all of his players and then replace them with backups.
Yeah. Talk about the players being scared. I don't think they were scared of Tennessee. They're scared of Nick Saban.
They don't. They just dog with his tail between his legs.
Yeah.
That's tough. Dude, the referees had to like just get the fuck off the field so they didn't get run over. There was a massive stampede.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They were running off the field. Like, I mean, what was it? Nick Saban and Josh Heupel. They both did a quick, congratulations and booked it. Yeah. Everybody was running. They were like, oh shit.
Get the fuck out of here. Because like when you get 110,000 people just doing whatever the fuck they want.
There's no control in that.
I was about to say, you can have all sorts of riot control, but 110,000 people, that's a fucking massive army. Mm-hmm. That's like the orcs in the Two Towers when they go to Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Like, that's massive amounts of fucking people. That is a giant number of people just rushing.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you try and stop it, you'll get fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, congratulations, Tennessee. I think it was weird because I was watching this game with a bunch of LSU people, and it was weird because I don't know if they were happier that LSU won or that Alabama lost.
Yeah.
I was clearly happier about LSU winning, but there were so many people who just wanted Alabama to lose. Mm-hmm. I think most of the nation wanted that, but especially LSU fans, they just really wanted Alabama to lose.
And Auburn fans, they even lost, but they probably had a good weekend.
They still had a good weekend. Yep. But yeah, you got anything else in this one?
No, that's about it.
The quarterback, what's his name for? His name's Josh what for Tennessee?
Hendon Hooker?
I'm sorry,
about
the head coach. The head coach.
Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel, yeah. He was the quarterback at Oklahoma back in the early 2000s before Jason White got there. And now, like, everywhere he's gone after Oklahoma, like, to coach, offense has just followed.
Yeah.
I think he's actually a really good coach. I think Hendon Hooker's good. I'm not taking away from him, but I think he's actually just a really good coach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's always the telltale sign is like when you go from, like where he was like a kind of a mid-major kind of school like UCF, but made him really, really good.
Yep.
And then he comes over to like an SEC or Power 5 school. That's the big telltale sign is like, hey, can you really make this program into a good dominant program?
It's that transition.
Yep.
That transition from the small school to the big school. That's a problem a lot of coaches have.
Yeah. And especially those offensive-minded coaches, because you can get away with it because there's a disparity of talent in that lower level. But when it comes to your SEC, Alabama's and your Power 10 or Big 10 and Power 5 teams, there's not as much disparity in talent, and you can't just put all your athletes on offense and just dominate everybody.
Exactly. Yes. So, congrats to him. Congrats to Tennessee. Rocky Top all day. It was the one time I could listen to Rocky Top and actually be happy about it.
Yep.
So yeah, good for them. What's the next game you got?
We had quite a bit of good games this weekend.
Yeah, we did. This was a college football weekend for sure.
We'll go to James Madison got upset by Georgia Southern.
I know, right? As soon as they get popped to top 25, they get beat.
They got beat. Yep.
That sucks.
Yep. Georgia Southern though, you got to remember Clay Helton's the head coach over there.
That's true. That is true.
He can coach. He can coach.
You're not wrong. Yeah. This actually was this is when college football starts getting heated up. Like we're well into conference play now, and this is when like the really good games start happening.
Well, you can tell that coaches changed from that conservative mindset of like, oh wait, we need to do this, and this. We need to do it like the right way and stuff like that. Where they start changing their play call into like, hey, we need to do anything. We've got to win at all costs.
At all costs.
And they just do everything, and that's why like the over hit like with so many of these games.
Yep.
We'll go through them.
Next game, though.
49-52 to Alabama, Tennessee, 45-35 Florida, LSU. James Madison 38, Georgia Southern 45. Next game, Utah 43, USC 42.
That's a huge Utah game right there because I thought USC was going to win.
How big are the balls on Kyle Whittingham, the head coach at
big
Utah?
Balls. Big balls.
Jeez and Pete.
Like I'm talking, need a wheelbarrow for them motherfuckers
walking them out of the stadium.
Yeah. Just gigantic kahunas.
I mean, because he went with 48 seconds left. He went for 2 after he scored that touchdown, and they got it. That would end up winning the game.
It's like you're just like I can only imagine Utah fans just like sitting there like, what the fuck is he doing?
Right.
What the fuck is he doing? Although I think it was the right call because I don't think they would have won in overtime. I think Lincoln Riley and USC would have won in overtime.
Oh, analytics,
yes. So. The analytics again, but here's the thing again, like we talked about last week. Analytics, the best scapegoat. If you go for it and don't get it, well, analytics told me to.
Yep.
And then boom, you're automatically in the clear.
Automatically in the clear.
What's the next game you got?
TCU, Oklahoma State.
That was an upset I did not see coming.
That one went into overtime.
That one did. I thought the mullet, Mike Gundy, the mullet would I thought he would. I don't know. I thought Oklahoma State was like Team of Destiny vibes this year.
That is tough. It's tough. I mean, they were playing at TCU, so I mean that's you got to take that into account. It's tough to go.
Also, I think this might be a good thing because I'm scared of Alabama from here on out. But I think those really really good teams need that one loss. Like you can't go through the whole. You can do it more in college, but than the NFL. But that one loss. That one loss, it's just like it brings you down a peg, but it springs you forward even more. You know what I'm saying?
You play a little bit more relaxed, yeah.
A little more relaxed. You don't have that monkey like that. I don't know. You got a little more chip on your shoulder now. People are doubting you for the first time.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. So I think that might be good. That might be good for Oklahoma State. I think they'll bounce back.
Yep.
But
I think so. And then the next game we had Michigan 41 over Penn State. That was a top 10 matchup.
Michigan is so fucking good.
Michigan's pretty good.
Michigan is so fucking good. I'm more excited about this Ohio State Michigan game this year than I have been in a long time.
Yep.
Because it was always like Michigan was good, but you could clearly see Ohio State was better. Now, Ohio State is very good. Michigan is very good.
And they got that monkey off their back. They beat them last year, so anything goes.
Yep. This is so I'm pretty fucking pumped up about that game.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Penn State was a little overrated, if I'm being honest.
Well, it might be a James Franklin thing.
You think so?
Well, he's lost 10 in a row to top 10 teams.
He just can't. He can't perform.
He can't perform.
He can't get it up. It's like when you finally you're drunk at a bar and you score with the hottest girl in the bar finally, and you're going to have sex and you just get whiskey dick and you can't get it up.
You do all that work to get her, to get to that undefeated, get her back at the house, and then you just can't perform.
You have just a floppy penis.
So
whereas when you got when you're chatting up a solid 6 and you get her back and you're fine. It pops up nice and you might even come. But with that perfect 10, you get too drunk. That's essentially what he did.
Yep.
He just can't perform whenever he's got top 10 opponent.
Yeah. So, yep. So Michigan had a nice beatdown. It was kind of close for most of the game, but Michigan ran away with it. Stanford beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, Stanford did beat Notre Dame.
Stanford beat Notre Dame. They had lost to 11 FBS schools. They had 11-game losing streak to FBS schools up until then.
Not looking great for Notre Dame.
Not looking great for Marcus Smart. And that's the thing. I mean, basically, Brian Kelly took this team to a national to the playoffs last year.
I know. And that's a testament to how good Brian Kelly kind of it's. I'm always gonna say this because I'm always gonna find some spin zone to make me love Brian Kelly. Mm-hmm. That's a testament to how good of a coach he was.
Yep.
I know they lost a lot of recruits and stuff like that, but still, that the core of that team was still there.
Yeah. And I don't know. I like Marcus Freeman. I think he could be a good coach.
I think you said Marcus Smart at first, but Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman. But I think he might be a little over his head.
Yep.
There's too many times in the fourth quarter where he looks like a deer in the headlights.
He doesn't know what's going on.
He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I think you're right. I think he just needed to. I think he got thrown into this giant position way too quickly.
Yep. Let me see. Memphis, East Carolina was a four overtime game.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
I always love college overtime games because it could go from 1 overtime to 7 like that.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, and if East Carolina's not a ranked team, they are definitely an upset, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be upset. Upset potential all day.
Yeah, and then actually, what was it? The Old Dominion upsetted. Gosh, I forgot who they upsetted. They're a big upset team.
Old Dominion, Appalachian State. I love those upset teams.
Those are a notorious upset team. It doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't matter how good or bad they are. They are just notorious upset teams.
Always potential to upset. It's great.
Yeah, they put teams on upset alert just by just starting the game.
Exactly. What else you got?
And then just to wrap things up, Syracuse beating NC State. Really like the Syracuse guy, Dino Babers or something like that. Mm-hmm. He should be a good head coaching candidate this year. They're undefeated.
Yep.
And then just to wrap things up, Oklahoma beat Kansas who was number 19.
That was another one of those Vegas knew exactly what they were doing type thing.
Yeah, knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
There was a couple kind of cool plays on this. The Kansas wide receiver got crushed by two defenders and ended up bouncing off of those guys, bobbling the catch and making it in for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a interception where the Oklahoma defender had a nice concentration on it. He came up, tapped it up with one hand, fell to the ground, and still was able to concentrate and reel it in for an interception. That was pretty cool.
College football catch.
Yep, college football
Good
catch.
old college football catch. Nice. That's awesome. Well, you got anything else?
That wraps up college football, and I think that wraps up me.
That about wraps it up. Let's we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Later.